Warning: the following program is intended for a mature audience. It may contain language or opinions that are not suitable for some listeners.
This week on the show, the new pictures of the black hole has sucked more than just space. There's a mystery afoot in Mississippi, and it involves mashed potatoes. And if you could have an army of any kind of creature, what would you pick? One man in Florida chose turtles. It is April 14th, 2019. This is the 2 Cent Show. Hey guys, welcome to the 2 Cent Show. This is your host, To the Ranting Gryphon. With me here, as always, is Featherhoof. How ya doing, my horsehead brah?
Greetings and salutations, cat butt. I'm doing just fine. How are you?
You know, I'm doing okay. First I wanted to apologize for last week for there being no show. Actually, what happened was we did the whole show. We actually did the whole show, and when I called it up to edit it at one point, our vocals, the vocal track was gone. It's actually a rather interesting kind of orgy sort of process. If you can imagine a college orgy between people of the entire spectrum of genders all in one room at the same time with a big bowl of oil, that's sort of
and now I'm hard. Thanks.
I am too, and stay hard. Always stay hard. But if you could imagine that, that's what the post-production for 2 Cents is like. And suddenly, like half of what we'd said, our commentary was gone. The file was just gone. So I just ditched last week. These are the test episodes. The patrons are only getting them for now. So you guys, so sorry about that. But I didn't get very good sleep last night.
Oh, really?
No, because Alexa kept going on. And I didn't know why. I don't know about you guys out there, if you guys sleep with any kind of sound on or any kind of thing like that. Some people sleep with a fan or whatever. I usually sleep with a television or something going on in the background, some video. Just like really, really quietly. Well, I was sleeping with a live news feed on. And I just fell asleep, and several times I keep getting woken up. Alexa's saying, "I'm sorry, I don't know that." And I'm like, what? And then like maybe an hour and a half later, "I'm sorry, I have no opinion on that." And I'm like, what? like half a dozen times, right? Well, finally, when I wake up, I get out of bed, I find out that there was this major news story that had happened. It broke overnight, involving Amazon Alexa. And the news anchors on the TV kept saying her name over and over again, and she was trying to answer the motherfuckers. And I'm like, oh, good God. So how did your night go? Hope it was better than mine.
Well, luckily, unlike you and unlike Cindy over there, who's the two latest sleepers I know, we once had people redoing our roof over my head.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're asleep. Okay.
So I for the few hours of sleep I did get, I was gone. So.
Oh, well, yeah, it's one of those nights where you have to kind of be gone, and thank goodness. Well, I got used to that when apartment living with gamers. At this point, I've lived with so many gamers that the sounds of gunfire and the screams of death actually put me to sleep. I'm just absolutely comfortable with that. So I know I'm weird, but anyway, hey, let's get on to the world news. All right. And this first one, I'm sure you saw the picture of the black hole.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all over the place, all over social media. Well, of course, the news media couldn't help but fuck this up in some major way. Catherine Bauman, a 29-year-old researcher who worked on the crucial algorithm that led to capturing the first ever image of a black hole, has become the target of online sexist trolls seeking to discredit her work on the historic project. After the National Science Foundation on Wednesday revealed the first ever image captured of a black hole, another image began to make rounds on social media showing Bauman reacting with excitement to the photo of the mass. The photo of the mass. Okay. The photo that showed Bauman with her hands clasping her face as she reacted to the team's achievement became an instant symbol for the female representation in STEM. But she's since received since her newfound fame, a number of sexist trolls on Reddit and Twitter have circulated memes contrasting Bauman's work with that of Andrew Chale, a white male scientist who is also a member of the Event Horizon Telescope team behind the Black Hole Project. In memes that have quickly gone viral on the platforms, trolls said that Chale was actually the one responsible for 850,000 of the 900,000 lines of code that were written in the historic black hole image algorithm and had done all of the actual work in the project. But Chale was quick to correct that narrative, arguing that it was sexist with a thread of his own on Thursday that has since gone viral. He said, "Our papers used 3 independent imaging software libraries, including one developed by my friend. While I wrote much of the code for one of these pipelines, Katie was a huge contributor to the software. It would have never worked without her contribution and the work of many others who wrote the code, debugged, and figured out how to use the code on challenging EHT data." So now, you know 2 cents. I normally don't like to go into, some crazy drama because everybody has to put up with that all week anyway. Right. But in this case, I had to call this out. I've got to call this out. Okay. Because I'm finding let's go through the timeline here, okay? Okay. We got a picture of a black hole. Now, obviously, this picture of the black hole was a conglomeration by hundreds of people, loads of work, probably thousands of hours of work and coding and things like that by many different people, obviously male and female. The media decided to shove out this one person, Catherine Bauman, and I seen the headlines. The woman responsible for the black hole picture. The woman behind the science behind the black hole. The woman, here's the woman who made this all possible. Now, this is the media that did this. They pushed this out. They wanted to take this thing and make it not about science, but about fucking identity politics. They wanted to make it about intersectionality. Oh, look what a woman did. Now, people came out to say, actually, she was one of hundreds of people who were on the teams. And by the way, I don't want to make it sound like I'm sorry that she's one. I'm not. I'm very happy for her contribution in this. And I think it is very fair to give her credit. But these people were saying, well, actually, there were a lot of people on the team, and the person on the team who did most of the coding was this guy over here. The media's kind of, turning this into a fiasco about feminism. And that same media came back to then call these people sexists because they were calling the media out and saying, look, you're making a feminist statement out of this thing that was, a project by a lot of people, men and women, working together. You're making this a feminist thing. And now the media is saying, well, you're just sexist when you say that. And I really got a hate boner for this one. That really pissed me off.
See, I'm of 2 minds on this because it was the Reddit, was it Reddit community?
It was Reddit and Twitter.
They came and said it was this dude. What was his name?
His name was Chale. Andrew Chale.
Now, then, didn't say in the story, then Chale actually came out to say, to speak on her behalf, or that was a convoluted story.
Well, actually, okay, the funny thing is that people said, Chale did most of the work on this, and then Chale came out to say, you're sexist. I did most of the work on this, but a lot of people worked on it. It's like, that's what we're saying. It's like, that's what we're trying to say is that, is that it wasn't just one woman like the media made it out to be that did this, responsible for this whole thing.
But what it sounded like is that Chale is saying that it was whatever her contribution was specifically the thing that got it to work. Like, of all the codes, like her contribution, like, according to Chale, whatever, he's saying that it was her contribution that got the whole shebang. It was like that one piece that made it go, oh, it works now.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here, and I don't want to take it, like I said, I don't want to take any credit away from her. But anybody could have been in her position, could have been a guy, a girl, a black person, a white person, a Chinese person, anybody, and the work would have gone the same. So, but the media made it out that without this woman, this whole thing could never have happened. And people were calling the media out on this. And now the media is calling them sexist for trying to say, actually, men and women both worked on this. It wasn't just a woman that was responsible for this whole thing. Men and women were both responsible. And now the media is saying, well, you're just sexist. You're sexist because you don't believe that it was just one woman that did this. And it's retarded.
Do you think it's a reaction to the whole spacewalk thing, the whole all-female spacewalk?
You know, I don't know.
How about let's see something we can point out. Oh, that right there. That's a female thing. We did a female thing. See?
Well, the funny thing is that even Bauman has come out and said, in response to the news media, she's come out and said, actually, you're giving me too much credit. I was just a member of a very large team here. Because the media was literally saying, the woman that's responsible for the black hole picture. It's like, no, I'm not. There was hundreds of people, and there was plenty of women, and there was plenty of men, and I'm not the one responsible for this. We all were. And the people online backed her up, and they're like, actually, she's kind of right. It was men. I think this is harmful. I think it's harmful to society, and I think it's harmful in this way. If women are ever to be looked at as equals, I think it's not going to happen until the news media can come together and treat men and women as equals. If we can actually get together and the media can say a group of men and women worked on this, instead of just picking one woman and saying this woman did the whole thing.
Or even better, we could say a group of people worked on this.
A group of people.
See, what actually bothers me, the thing that actually kicks me in the nuts and pisses me off about that whole story, there is one thing about it. I was trying to, be devil's advocate a little bit, but the one thing that really chafes my ass is the whole, okay, we say this thing. Well, actually, we're debating you, and we're saying, contrary thing. And they went, sexist!
Yeah.
It's a way to shut down all conversation. I cannot stand when people use something like that to shut down conversation and debate.
Well, that's being done a lot lately. That's being done a whole lot. And they know it, too. They know it. Yeah. I brought up this example before, but, all you have to do, you could go out and say, the sky is green. And if somebody says, actually, the sky is blue, they can say, well, racists think the sky is blue, too. Therefore, you are a racist. Mic drop, and they walk off. They use that to shut down all argument and not discuss an issue. It's terrible.
Do you remember years ago during the George W. Bush administration, they used to be, when Michael Moore would make his statements, he's like, here's why the Bush administration is evil. Michael Moore said this thing. He found this thing about them. And then people would go, Osama bin Laden said that. Osama bin Laden and Michael Moore said the same thing.
Oh,
is he colluding with a terrorist? Is he a terrorist?
Well, you like hot dogs, and Nazis like hot dogs. So what does that say, huh?
So I think that's
quite telling. Yeah.
It's a tried and true method to shut down conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
To shut. And that's what it's all about, and the reason they do that is because the people who do this, the extremists who do this, they know they don't have a valid point. They're speaking from a point of feelings and emotions, and you cannot argue feelings and emotions. So as soon as you throw in just a little bit of reason or logic, they're going to say, well, you're a rapist, and then walk off. Because there's nothing you can do about that. It's like, what?
And the suckier part, they don't have to prove it.
No, they don't.
They just have to say it. And people go, really? Is that true? And then it just blows up. No, it's not true. And then the conversation turns from whatever it was into, is this person a rapist?
Yeah, the conversation turns into whatever it was into, guess what, you don't have a show at this major convention anymore. Trust me, I know about that. So, anyway, moving on in the news, we're going to go down to Mississippi. Would you like to go down to Mississippi?
I know, down Mississippi.
Mississippi. of a Mississippi neighborhood are trying to get to the bottom of an unusual mystery. Someone has been leaving mashed potatoes in various locations. I'm not. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. This is from UPI, dude. It's a real story. It's from UPI. Neighbors in the Bellhaven area of Jackson said they've been finding plates of mashed potatoes in locations including porches, mailboxes, and on top of vehicles. Quote, this neighborhood does a lot of quirky things. We decorate road signs, we put Christmas trees in our potholes. So it's not surprising at all that that's why I love this neighborhood, because they do many strange things. But it's definitely one of the weirdest things I've seen since living in Jackson. Resident Jordan Lewis, who found mashed potatoes on his car, said, residents said they have yet to uncover the motive behind the apparent prank. Quote, some people were thinking maybe the mashed potatoes were poisoned to kill animals. I didn't taste it. I have a 3-second rule, so I didn't touch it. But some people were worried. Said Sebastian Bjernegard.
So if she watched the person put the mashed potatoes on there, as long as it was 3 seconds, it didn't matter if it was a stranger or not, she would have eaten it?
No, she said she wouldn't have eaten it.
Well, she said she had a 3-second rule. As long as it was within 3 seconds, she would have?
I don't know, but that was Sebastian Bjernegard, and he found a plate of potatoes on his doorstep. So neighbors have not involved police since the prank appears to be harmless. But you know, I want days like this to come back when the biggest scandal going on is somebody's leaving a plate of mashed potatoes around and you don't know who it is. That I remember those days. Wasn't that amazing?
That's when you know you have no problems anymore.
Yeah.
When the biggest deal is mystery mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's an unknown person in the Philadelphia area is coming by and mowing half of people's yards and then stopping. News at 11. I loved. These are the news stories that I love. It's just like suddenly mashed potatoes. What's wrong with that? That's awesome. I love this.
Nancy Drew in the mystery of the suddenly delivered and fully paid for pizzas.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know why they pay. I mean, not that I'm dissing on mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I don't know how you make them. I make them with butter, chives, and garlic. I love my mashed potatoes. But
don't you dare pull my recipe out of my brain before I can say it.
You do the same thing, right? Yeah, it's awesome that way. But I don't know why. It's just so random. I love random shit like this. It's like an entire neighborhood is like, oh, mashed potatoes. Look at that. Where'd those come from? I don't know. Did you get some mashed potatoes last night? Yeah, I got some mashed potatoes. That was right on my car. Yeah, this is the kind of world I want, where the news stories are like this,
I want to admit it inspires me to go make. I want to go make cookies now, and I just want little heart cookies, and just says thank you for being you, and just put them on all my neighbors' doorsteps.
Well, now
in
be
secret
careful.
at night.
Be careful. You remember that old 2 cents news story?
Oh,
where those two teenage girls cooked a batch of cookies, left them on some old lady's doorstep, and the old lady called the police and reported them for trespassing.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's true. Damn it! Now I don't want to do it. You ruined my desire for randomness.
The funny thing is that I actually wound up tracking down those girls for the 2 Cent Show and calling them, and finding out their story right from their mouths. It was pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna go to oh god.
Uh-oh.
We're going to Florida.
Oh no.
We're going to Florida. A self-proclaimed saint was arrested in a coastal Florida town on Sunday after screaming obscenities and threatening to unleash an army of turtles.
What? What?
Authorities received multiple calls about a man who was disturbing the peace in several businesses in India Atlantic, in a town about 75 miles southeast of Orlando. The suspect, later identified as 61-year-old Thomas Devaney Lane, was calling himself the Saint and allegedly said his army of turtles would, quote, destroy everyone.
Was he gonna pull him from the black hole? Was that the portal for his turtles?
I don't know, but if he does, I guarantee you, the woman was only partially responsible for this. There was a whole team. There was a whole team at work.
A whole team of turtles.
Officers later found him in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. Oh my God! It's a
No,
Florida,
really?
It's a Florida man in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. This is perfect. Where he allegedly cursed out customers and then called 911.
What?
Lane allegedly told the 911 operator that the responding officer, quote, needed to leave now or you will all be sorry you fucked with the Saint. Police said Lane refused to exit his vehicle and was taken out by force. During that ordeal, Lane allegedly continued to shout obscenities while warning passersby about the impending army of turtles.
I want, like, 5 days from now, they're all like, remember that guy? And they're like, wait, what's that sound? They look down the road, and there's this slow-moving army of turtles coming down the road.
They're turtles. It'd be funny if they locked him up, and they're like, where's your army of turtles? He's like, just wait. Because they're slow. You know, it's like this wave of turtles, and everybody's like, holy crap, walk for your lives. You know, it's just an army of turtles. I don't think I'd pick turtles to take over the world, personally. I mean...
What would you pick? What would you pick? What would your army of animal be?
Can it be anything, or can it be mythical, or anything that's just a real army?
Just a real army of a single animal. That's a whole army of it.
Fucking elephants. Absolutely elephants. Elephants, those guys are wrecking balls. You can't stop them. I mean, I've seen like officers try to take down like out of control elephants.
I've seen those videos.
You gotta have an army to take one of those things down.
I'd be more of a dick about it. I'd have an army of poison dart frogs.
Wait. Holy shit. What about an army of venomous snakes?
Ooh.
Yeah.
An army of crocodiles.
Zombie crocodiles. With switchblades.
Yes. Anthropomorphic zombie crocodiles.
With switchblades. Or swords. Katanas.
No, katanas tied to their tails.
Yes. I'm okay. We're on board. That's it, guys.
Yep.
We're taking. You know what? Show's over. We just figured out how to take over the world, and it ain't this show. It's an army of zombie crocodiles with fucking katanas. That's the show, folks. See you later. Okay, no, the show's not over. I lied. Great idea, though. Great idea. I like that one.
That's what happens when you brainstorm.
What is it with Florida? What is it with it's like its own country. What is it? Florida is the closest thing to Russia.
Country? They're their own dimension. There's nowhere else in the world has a mental state like the people who live in Florida. No person of rational sound and mind of body has these thoughts that people in Florida do.
I mean, is it the 130% humidity, or is it the reclaimed water? What the fuck is it that makes Florida just fucking insane? Did you know they had to make a law in Florida that like mayors and governors and people in government could actually do their office work from prison? Because so many of them wind up in jail, they had to make it a law that congressmen and people in government can work from their jail cells.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the hell. Florida! What the hell, guys? I mean, I've seen Florida say, hold my beer more times than I can fucking count. You know, Jesus.
Can we get Bugs Bunny to saw it off, please?
I've seen him do it.
So have I love that cartoon. Yep. I don't know. It's like, seriously, it makes me. But this is the same state where every year, half of it gets destroyed by hurricanes, and they go, Well, let's just go right back.
Let's just build right where we were before. No.
Yeah, it worked out so well this time. Let's do it again.
Anyway, last story of the day, and by the way, Aquila, if you're paying attention, you might want to focus on this because I think this is going to be the story of the day.
Oh no.
Yeah. A Taiwanese woman was found by doctors to have 4 bees living inside her eye.
Ah! No!
Yes!
Oh no!
The 28-year-old woman, identified only as Miss He, was pulling out weeds.
Miss B?
Miss He.
No, it's Miss B now.
There's Miss B now. Pulling out weeds when the insects flew into her eyes. Dr. Hong Chi Ting of the Fuyan. Yes, Hong Chi Ting. I'm sorry, I'm not making this up. Hong Cheating of the Fuyan University Hospital told the BBC that he was shocked when he pulled the 4mm insects out by their legs. Miss He has now been discharged and is expected to make a full recovery. Quote, I grabbed the leg and very slowly took one out, then I saw another one and another. They're all still intact and all alive. Dr. Hong added that the bees could have been blown inside her eyes by a gust of wind and found themselves stuck inside.
What the fuck?
Now, if you wanted something, if you wanted a superpower, eye bees. Eye bees. Yes.
No.
Eye bees. Just like you're standing there, you take off your glasses and you're like, really, bitch? And eye bees. Bees from your eyes come out and fuck up everything. Eye bees, dude. That's the best superpower ever. You want eye bees. You want the eye bees.
Could you imagine just the low ground hum you would have just in your head all the time for the buzzing? Just
but it's speaking to you. It's just speaking to you. The eye bees.
Feeling the crawling.
Eye bees in your eye, and you can go and send them out, and you can just go, eye bees! And they go out and then they fly, and then after they killed everybody, they fly back into your eyes where they live.
No! That's the worst part!
Yes.
No!
Oh my god. Actually, the doctor, this is part of the article that I did not put in here. The doctor said that she had glass contact lenses like they used to make.
Oh my god.
And because of that, she did not want to rub her eyes because she was afraid of smashing the lens.
Right, yeah.
The doctor said if she had rubbed her eyes, those bees could have started stinging her eyeballs.
Oh no!
And so it's a good thing that she did not rub her eyes. So yes, imagine yourself.
No.
And you have these enormous eyeballs because they're stung. They're stung, swollen, and you are eyeball man. People think you're eyeball man, but then you go bees, but you're eye bee man, and you send out all these eye bees to attack your foes, and you could work for justice in the American way. It would be so awesome.
Now, I wouldn't mind having an army of bees that I could control, like Ant-Man, but with bees. But they ain't living in my eyes.
I had to include that story because eye bees. Eye bees. I mean, come on. That's you guys know I got to do something. I hope nobody out there was eating dinner while they're listening to this show, because or that nobody really hates bees. Wait, who doesn't really hate bees? Anyway, yeah. On to the WTF Theater for today. Now we have a theme. We have a theme this time for WTF Theater. This is asshole packaging. There are some products out there, you know, I'm sure you've seen it, where you get packaging that is just complete assholery. It's absolute, like, deceptive packaging. So let's go to the first picture here, and this is what we're talking about. Look at that. Now,
you know what?
That's just assholery. That's plain assholery right there.
Actually, I think I can tell you exactly what happened right there.
I know what happened. They did that on purpose to make it look like there's pepperonis on the pizza. Look at the window in the box.
I can see it. I understand the joke, but I've gotten pizzas before where it starts to thaw out. The pepperonis aren't sticking. The frozen pepperonis aren't sticking to the frozen cheese, and you flip it sideways, and all the pepperonis start sliding to one side.
You know what? That's one take on it. But just look at this list, and by the end, I think you're going to be convinced that some people do this on purpose. Some companies do this on purpose. So let's go to the next one, number 2.
Oh!
Look at that! Look at that!
Oh no! That is ass. There's no way that's 150. Bullshit! That's 150.
Look where the sticker is on the top of the box.
Actually, might be. But
it is 100.
Yeah,
it's 150, but they make it look like there's more than there is by putting the sticker over the place in the middle, so you can't see it. It gives you the impression, it lets your brain trick you into thinking there's more than there is, and they know that. That's just.
And if you look at that, the bottom one there, the bottom side part of the picture, there's like 3 or 4 of the exact same color multiple times.
Yeah, I see two purple. There's 2 purple ones sitting right next to each other.
But right in the front, there's 3 yellows. Just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
right next to the exact same yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's assholery. Next picture, number 3. What is wrong with this picture?
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to have that jelly thing at the top there, didn't it?
They skimped a little bit. I think just a tiny bit on the jelly.
No, I know the dough will rise when you make it. I don't think jelly rises like yeast.
Well, the way from what I know, the way you make those cookies is that you bake them first and then put the jelly in.
That's what I thought.
And that's just kind of not. That's just being douchebag.
Oh my god. That
next picture.
Oh my god.
Now, yeah, that's tea. And
wow.
They make it look like there's a thing full of tea, but it's just the front. It's in a baggie and it's smashed against the front, so it looks like there's a bunch of tea.
Wow.
See, you can't tell me that was like settling. Whoops.
How?
That's an accident. No, they did that on purpose.
That's on purpose. But it's like, how did they think they were going to get away with that? That one's like, it's in a clear box.
Well,
you can just turn it around and go. All you have to do is turn it around and go, wait a minute.
But I don't know. I'm not sure, but they're working on it. Anyway, next one. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, this is a pin that, it advertises itself to be an eco-friendly pen by using paper products instead of plastic.
Oh.
And basically what they do is they just make a pen and they wrap it with a thin layer of paper, and there it is.
That's douchey. That's a douche move.
That's douchey. By the way, we're doing edutainment-y.
Yes,
we're doing edutainment-y. This is to the Randy Gryphon and Featherhoof saying, be careful of this stuff because these companies, as a consumer, these companies will fuck you over if you're not paying attention. All the time, just keep an eyeball out on this stuff. Anyway, next picture. I like this one. Someone is doing the Lord's work.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they took it and they flipped it upside down so you could actually see how much how much empty space is in there.
And that is why chip companies, by and large, do not put those clear windows in there. They don't want you to know.
They don't want you to know. Yep, that's some, that's a consumer vigilante right there, and I support this guy. Badass of the week. Salute you, man. Okay, next picture. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that cheap shit.
Wow. What is that anyway?
It's pomade.
The fuck is pomade?
I don't know. Actually, I've heard of pomade. I think it's something you put in your hair, which is why neither of us would know anything about it. Because we don't have that thing called hair. But no, that's
is that another one of the mythical creatures?
I think it is. But no, obviously this is a thing of pomade. It's just they make sure to take out that little bit so that they can screw you over. Anyway, next picture. Look at that.
Oh, come on!
Now, remember how Tyro always talks about Turkish Delight?
Yeah.
These are Turkish Delights. Yeah, these are Turkish Delights. Only this one, you get this big box, and it has 9 of them. It's not like a box, it's just 9 of them in a plastic bag. That is just so douchey.
Well, that's why, because they're not Turkish Delights, they're Bulgarian Delights. Fucking Bulgarians!
Bulgarians! Next picture. Now, this one we all know.
Yeah.
We all know this. Look at that. I mean, you get a bag of chips, and there's a handful of chips in there.
Yeah, this is those are the little parties, the little giveaway bags, the little teeny ones, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, that's I think a big one.
You sure?
Yeah.
Looks like one little... Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's a large bag of chips, and that's all the chips that are in it. And by the way, I'd like to mention here, because I'm very sad that we do not have these, and some of you guys listening, not in the U.S., be surprised that we don't have this stuff. But I really miss chicken flavored chips from overseas. They have them almost everywhere in the Western world, except they don't have them here. And chicken flavored chips are the best things ever. They're really good.
I have yet to have any.
Yeah, they're good. But there you go. Apparently, they do this in other countries as well. Next picture. Okay.
Wait.
Now at
I'm
first,
confused.
okay, look at the box.
Okay.
Now see all the cookies it has?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's in the box. There's one of every cookie. One. Except for that one that there's like 2 of the little cookie strips.
Yeah.
Except for that one, that has exactly what it says is on the box. It has one of every cookie.
That sucks.
That's so stupid. That is
Can't
just...
even, okay, yeah, if you look at it, you see that it even made it super thick, so the box looks super thick that you'd think there was stacks in there.
No, there's not. There's just one of each cookie. That is just... Folks, like I said, be careful. You know, protect your dollars. You gotta watch your money, and you gotta watch where it goes. Don't buy shit like this when they're trying to cheat you. Well, you know, just don't do it, because there are companies out there that they just want to cheat you. They want to cheat you out of your money. So don't let them do that. So that's your edutainment for the day. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. We're gonna come back here in about 5 minutes. Enjoy the segment. I'm sure Tyro is ready to educate you more, edutainment you more about Australia.
We gotta find a way of turning that into a verb.
Yeah, we gotta do that. But anyway, see you guys on the other end of the break.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Australian Minute with Tyro Thunderdrone. This week we're going to be looking at the cute fuzzy things that everybody loves to hear about, koalas. Most people go and think, oh, I love koala bears, but I hate to cut you off at the pass, they're not actually bears. They are a type of marsupial, something that is all over this fucking country. Kangaroos, possums, all sorts of little fucking critters, but we're going to talk about them in a different time. Koalas are seen as cute and cuddly, definitely, and they look it, but man, are they fucked up. These cute little buggers that are only about 90 centimeters at maximum, get to about 15 kilos, can live for about 18 years, good enough to drink, are absolute dicks. Now, you might be thinking, how can they be? It's Australia, most things will fucking turn you stupid. One of the problems they obviously have is trying to eat eucalyptus trees, which eucalyptus leaves are not very nutritious, and they're pretty poisonous. Don't worry, the koalas have solved this by having mummy's poop as the first meal that they ever have. Yes, you heard that right. These things eat their mother's shit to get the bacteria that's actually inside their stomach. It's pretty ingenious. Fucking gross though! And as if that wasn't bad enough, these majestically cute creatures, soft, cuddly, fluffy, are infected with chlamydia. I don't know which one of you fuckers was, banging a koala to try and pass on this human STD that really isn't as bad with us, but with koalas it gets quite bad. Koalas that are infected with chlamydia can actually turn out pretty nasty and almost rancid, and the fact that they can get blind, they have severe bladder infections and starts to swell up and they can't hold their urine at all, leading to something called wet bottom syndrome. This also makes them infertile and can even kill the poor buggers. I mean, what a way to go! Some cross-species disease goes and fucks you right in the ass. It's no wonder these things turned out cranky and temperamental and able to claw your hand right off. And yes, these things are known as drop bears for a reason, because sometimes they fall asleep, lose grip, and guess where? Straight down! This, however, has been the Australian Minute with Tyro Thunder Drone. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm liking the new format. See you later, buggers.
Okay, we are back, guys. Hope you enjoyed the break there. And by the way, if you are very curious where those pictures come from, they come from your face. That's right, all you listeners out there that, that take pictures you want, to share your life or your vacation or whatever, you can send those in to dear2letters@hotmail.com, and we will feature those in the break. And honestly, that's what we want. We want this show to be, it's not just us. It's not just me and Hoofy. It's like me, Hoofy, and all you guys. So we want you guys to be a part of this and to help make the show. So if you have some pictures, if you have a really gorgeous backyard, the flowers are blooming, you got some daisies or some roses in your back, take some pictures of them. Send them in. If there's a bug out there and you like the bug, take a picture of the bug. If you have IBs, take pictures of your IBs and send it into the show.
No,
and we will put it in the break.
Don't do it.
Anyway, guys, it is that time. This week, let me tell you, I've kind of had a lack of common sense, or as, they used to call it, horse sense. So you know what, Hoofy, why don't you lay some horse sense on us, my bro? Go for it.
Well, this one actually comes from personal experience that just happened this week, actually. Something happened that reminded me of this bit. See, I was out and about, and we were at a store. We were at the Walmart. And I had no intention of doing that voice, and I just went right into it.
You do every time. You do this. Okay, you go into this voice every time. You know what?
I can't help it.
It might as well be a thing. I think it just ought to be a thing.
So I wanted to get something. It was at, the checkouts, and they had the candies and whatnot, and the drinks up there at the checkout lanes.
Oh, yeah.
They had the little fridges. I want to get the little fridge to get myself some orange soda.
Oh.
There was a madam just standing there. Just standing there. Her husband was putting stuff up on the thing, the rail or whatever it's called. And
The belt.
she's just standing there. Yeah, the belt. She's just standing there. Not just standing there. I said, ma'am, excuse me. Can I get to the fridge? She turns, looks at me as if I'm scum. You know, that look that people give you, like, what business do you have to be talking to me? So she just looks back, looks away, doesn't move. So I just sort of squeeze in there, reach in, grab it, and as I go to walk away, I was like, oh, well, screw you too. Just under my breath. And she turns, what did you say? Excuse me? And then no one teach you to, any kind of manners or to have show some respect? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, if you want people to show you any kind of respect or manners, why don't you, show a little first? Because I said, excuse me, ma'am, can I please get through? And I got the shit, the little fucking side eye, like, you have no business talking to me. Look. And then I got, yelled at and schooled on manners. Oh, I am so rude because I said, oh, well, screw you too. It's like, people, how you treat other people is how they're going to treat you. I mean, it's a silly old saying that parents say to their kids, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Guess what? It's true! I'm sorry, if you are going to treat people like they're scum and they're assholes, guess what? That's how they're going to treat you.
I hate to cut you off, but there's this old saying. You've just reminded me of this, and I think this is a key thing that's missing right now in society. Something we've forgotten, and that is the simple concept that respect is earned.
Yes.
You don't get respect because you fell out of someone's vagina. That does not earn you respect.
No.
You earn respect through your behavior. If you want respect, you have to earn it. Your actions. Yes, you have to earn respect. And there's, I see all these kids running around. They're like, you have to respect me. It's like, why? What did you do to earn my respect? I was born. Not enough. Sorry.
Well, on the flip side, devil's advocate a little bit, you should always show some manners. You should always be, you should be respectful.
There's a certain amount of respect I think that every living being deserves.
Yes.
Beyond that, you gotta earn it.
It's like, I am not here to praise you for existing. I am not here to bow to your whim. I am here the same reason you're here, because of chemicals that cause babies.
Praise me.
I'm sorry.
You want to praise me like you should.
No, gotta love that anthropomorphic goat.
They did that. They just ran the sample back and forth. It's like, oh god.
But it's. I really ain't got much more to say about that. It's simply a matter of, look, stop expecting people to bend over backwards for your comfort and your own ego. People are going to treat you the way you treat them. If you're going to go ahead and look down at people like other people are lesser than you, for whatever fucking reason, guess what? They feel those vibes. They see it. They feel it. They're going to treat you the way that they feel they are being perceived.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because I used to feel this way as well when I was a little kid. And now the kids are doing the same thing. Take it from an old man, okay? If you go out and there's somebody that you don't like their views, you don't like what they're doing, there's never been a time in history when punching someone has actually changed their mind. It just gets them to punch you back. There's no time where you're going to smack somebody in the face and they're going to say, oh, I must be wrong. I'm sorry. No, that's not going to happen. And when you do that verbally, it's the same thing with verbally. You go out, you go, you're an asshole. Nobody that you do that to ever is going to go, wow, you're right. I'm an asshole. I will change immediately. Not going to happen ever. You can't do that.
So that is my horse sense for the week. Like I said, to boil it all down, the TLDR version of it, and your parents have said it to you a million times. Believe me, it is factual. It's not just some little parent phrase that people throw around. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
By the way, it's a real show now. Thank you for that, Hoofs. You always have the best common sense advice. I like it. I like it very much. I like the inclusion of this particular segment because I think people need it. I think it's sad people need it, but I think they do. In any case, we got some Dear 2 letters for you today. Are you ready to answer some Dear 2 letters? Dear Hoofs.
I am ready to answer some Dear 2 letters! It's Dear 2 letters.
Dear 2 letters. Dear 2 letters. So,
I love that second half.
Yeah. Well, I think it was because it's, I don't know, I can't remember recording it because it was a long time ago, but there's this bit where the second part always starts off with this sound. It's like, Dear 2 letters! Yeah, it's Dear 2 letters. Yeah. Anyway, so, Dear 2, if you could talk to any one living animal and totally understand one another, what animal would it be, and what would you talk about? Noodle doesn't count. This is from Mitternacht, and, I'm gonna let you go with, you go first on this.
Okay, the one animal I would like, all animals of the species, like the species, or just a single member of that animal
Okay, the letter says to any one living animal.
Okay, so a singular entity.
I'm guessing one animal.
I would choose a bird.
Just a bird.
Well, like, yes, it says one, like, I don't know, like, any kind of bird. Like, an African gray parrot.
Okay. Well,
because they're intelligent as fuck.
Dude, they can talk anyway.
I know, but they don't really understand what they're saying, and they can't really understand.
Yes, they do. Oh, the hell they don't. I'll show you. But
anyway, actually have a human discussion with it.
Well,
fine. I don't know.
I need to educate Joe ass. But anyway, go ahead.
Fine. My little parakeet's over there, across the way.
Okay.
Because I would actually want to talk to an animal that's other than a mammal, like us. I would want to know life's perspectives from something that's not a mammal.
Yeah.
Like the way, they have to perceive it entirely differently. Because of, the way that they are, the way they are formed, the way they function, the way they view the world. And mammals sort of have a similar outlook on life.
Huh.
Like a different species, so say a bird or a fish or a reptile has to have a different perspective on life.
Oh, very much so, because they experience the world very differently.
Yeah.
Well,
so I would say my bird's over there. That, and so I can finally tell them, stop being afraid of me! I don't hurt you! Every day I come in here to show you love and give you attention and hang out with you and give you food and water, and yet you still fly away from me as if I tortured you. Stop it!
They'll probably say, but you're so big! We're scared. I take exception to Mitternacht's exception in this particular one. And the reason why is because if there was one living animal that I would want to talk to, it absolutely would be Noodle, period. And the reason why is because I think that would be most important for me to be able to take better care of Noodle. I would want to be able to go to Noodle and say, are you hungry? Am I doing everything okay? What do you need? Do you want more moisture? Would you like a different bedding? What is it that you would like me to do as your caretaker to be able to make you happier and more secure and feeling safer? And what would you want from me? I would like that is the one animal I would love to have a discussion with is Noodle, so that I could actually be his friend and take care of him better, and so I could know what he wants, and instead of just, because snakes they're very non-emotive. I mean, you have like normal mammals, like cats or dogs. They've got eyebrows. They can hiss. They can lay their ears back. They can growl at you. They can emote to you what they're feeling. A snake, they've got this solid face. It does not move ever. They can't wink at you. They can't do something. They can't growl at you if you're doing something they don't like. They could be suffering, and you would never know it. Sometimes snakes hiss if they're really pissed.
Okay.
In fact, they're one of two animals on the planet that actually makes an audio sound that is literally not for even their species.
Oh.
The other one is a cat. Did you know that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cats do not meow at other cats, ever.
Nope.
They only meow for people.
Yep.
Snakes do not hiss at other snakes because snakes can't hear. They're deaf. So they hiss at other creatures to warn them. Also, as I said, well, that's a vocal sound. Rattlesnakes are the same way. They rattle. They can't hear it. Other rattlesnakes can't hear it. Only things that they're trying to warn away can hear it. So
I think you'd have to learn ASL to communicate with Noodle if he was able to communicate that way.
Well, the problem is I don't know how he's going to actually do ASL. He doesn't have any arms or legs. And honestly, Noodle thinks I'm an idiot for having arms and legs. When I fell down the stairs a few weeks ago and broke 3 ribs and my collarbone, I walked in the room and I'm like, God, thanks, I broke myself up. And Noodle looked at me and said, you know, that's what you get for having limbs, you fucking idiot. Look, you think I'm ever gonna fall down the stairs and break my legs and arms? Fuck you. I'm staying safe, bitch. So yeah, anyway. On to the next letter. Dear 2. Oh God, speaking of which, what did your brain say when you went ass over tea kettle down the stairs? It's from an anonymous. My brain said, fuck you, Newton. Actually, it didn't say anything. When honestly, it happened so fast. You guys, all of you guys out there who listen to me regularly, you know that I have a hip that is not so good right now, and I just slipped. I took this little slip off of one stair, and I would have been able to catch myself. I would have been fine, but the leg that I had to catch myself with was the one with the bad hip, and it couldn't handle, holding up my weight all of a sudden. And I remember my leg just buckling under me. Oh. And it was like the lights got turned out and I got hit with 1,200 pillows, and then I woke up on the ground. It was like instantaneous. I woke up on the floor and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm laying on the ground and I'm looking back at the stairs and I'm like, fuck you, stairs. Fuck you, Newton. Fuck you, gravity. And I actually got up, I stood up, I dusted myself off, and I went nearly straight to bed because I was tired.
Yeah.
But I guess the adrenaline hadn't worn off yet. So when I woke up 6 hours later, and I was wrapped in a cage of white hot pain, I actually called my roommate and it's like, I think I need to go to the ER. And he took me to the ER and they x-rayed me and they're like, oh, you're busted up. I'm like, oh, God, I knew it. Yeah, and it does turn out, by the way, that the problem with my shoulder was I had a broken collarbone. It was broken. Ugh. So, yeah, still healing up from that, but it's a lot better now anyway.
I've fallen down the stairs one time in my life. I was about 8 or 9. And I was doing that thing, you know when, like, you're younger and you learn for the first time you can skip stairs?
Yes!
Well, I was wondering, wait, I can skip a stair. Can I skip 2 stairs?
Was the
Turns
answer
out
no?
I can't. The answer was no. And right as I was getting to the top of the staircase, right before the little landing, I was like, I'm going to take those last 2 stairs.
Yep. Well, the first time, I've fallen downstairs 3 times in my life. The first time, I broke my foot in 3 places. The second time, I didn't break anything. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing happened to me whatsoever. The third time, this last time, I busted up all my meat. I just busted all of the meat. So,
all my meat?
Yes. That's the way that works. Anyway, next letter. Dear 2 and Featherhoof, what made you decide, and when did you decide, it was worth it to take your first real shot at performing at a convention? I think that's mainly for me. Actually, the first time I decided was when it was the first time I was asked. I was just doing things online. I was making rants, I was making music, and a convention approached me and said, would you do a comedy show for us? I'd never done a comedy show in my life. And so I said, absolutely, I'll do that. And so I had about 6 months to learn how to do a comedy show, write a comedy show, and then perform the comedy show. It was just a matter of, and by the way, perfect example of grabbing onto every opportunity. When an opportunity comes your way, grab onto it and hold on. Even if you don't feel really confident about it, doesn't matter. Figure out a way an opportunity. Somebody comes to you and maybe you've used Photoshop a couple of times and says, hey, love you to be a graphic designer for my blah, blah, blah company. Would you do it? Don't go eye down as it say hell yes. Teach yourself how to do it. Grab onto that opportunity and move forward. Always do that. Always grab onto everything. And I'm sure Hoofy can relate to that, even if not performing at a convention.
Perfectly honest? Well, sort of, yeah. Because at one point, this bald ranty fuck, came up to me one day and he was all like, "Hey, do you want to do some videos together, play some games together?" And I was like, I don't know. But yes. Yeah.
The back of your head, you're thinking, I'm not worthy, and then what comes out of your mouth is, fuck yes. That's a beautiful thing when that happens. Oh, man. Anyway, next letter. Dear to it, brother. I just signed up to become a patron a few days ago, and I have to say, after listening to the test shows, they're delightful and bring back a lot of memories. I don't have much in the way of feedback yet, sorry, but I did notice a post on Patreon that someone else had sent in a letter and it may not have reached you. Hopefully this comes through fine, but you might want to check the spam folder just in case. This is from Greywind. Sometimes, and this is just part of the beast that is the internet, sometimes some things are going to come through. Obviously, I read every letter that is sent into Dear 2. Now, right now that it's testing, I can put most of them on. However, when we start getting more of them, I'm not going to be able to put all of them on. I'm going to have to be selective. And, but that doesn't mean that I don't read them all. I always read them all. The one that you're talking about, and I know what Greywind is talking about here. Somebody said, I sent in a mail blah, blah ago. Did you get it? I actually didn't get it. It just didn't come through. Now, I don't know why. It could be anything from the guy didn't put in the address right to it could have got lost in the giant digital sphincter of the nether. It could have, who knows what the fuck could happen. But no, I didn't get that one. That's gonna happen sometimes. If it does, then just send it again, and maybe it'll come through the second time. But yeah, we're gonna try our best to answer all the letters. So and I'm sure that probably happens to Hoofy too sometimes.
Yes.
Now that you are a big-time YouTuber?
Well, people don't send me any letters, but anytime I try to reset my password or something like that when I'm on websites, oh shit, what the fuck? Let's redo password, and then we sent you an email. Okay, let me where? Let me check the spam folder. Nope, not in the spam folder. Where is it? And I'll click resend 7 times, and it's still no email.
Yeah. That happens here too. And then once you change it, suddenly your phone, it doesn't work on your phone. Your phone's oh, I can't log into that because I've got the wrong password, blah, blah, blah. You're oh, fuck, I gotta put it in my phone too. So yeah, that's, oh man. Last letter of the day, Dear 2, and this applies to you as well, Hoopy. Have you ever seen an image and then have the theme song related to it start playing in your head?
All the time!
Continuously! That happened to me earlier today. Because there was this big story about how Disney stock has gone up now that they've launched Disney Plus. But the thumbnail they decided to use was Scrooge McDuck.
Oh no. No, it's already played in my head! No, it's already!
IBs! Woo!
No!
Yeah, so it instantly, all the time that happened. Well, when's the last time it happened to you? Was it IBs?
No, it's not a fucking IBs.
I know what it was.
Gum.
I know
it was gum.
It was gum?
Yes.
What?
I was in the store, and again, in the checkout lanes, I just looked over and I was like, Big Red. So kiss a little longer, hang out a little longer, stand a little longer with Big Red. The big fresh
Big Red
freshman going on while you're chewing.
Oh,
it's shut up, brain, stop it.
Double mint, gun. Yeah, I remember all the. Oh god. But my favorite one was always IBs, woo! You got IBs in your eyes and you have IBs, woo! You're gonna send them after all the bad guys, IBs, woo! Oh.
Ew.
My God. Well, let me tell you what, guys. It's been amazing hanging out with you, but we've got to end the show for now. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back. But before we do that, you have to go over to my Patreon and sign up to be one of my producers for just $5 a month, less than the price of a gerbil in Madagascar. You get the full version of the show. You get a full version of the show with exclusive content, and you get an MP3 download of every episode to use on your listening device. Plus, you get a bunch of other perks that if that only patrons get. By the way, you want to know something else you're paying for? Because I've noticed this. I don't know if you've noticed this. YouTube has been really, really, really cracking down lately on even the smallest curse words. Even Jacksepticeye, the guy, I love this guy. He's always just said, it's always just come out. If he wanted to say fuck or shit or whatever, it just comes out. Even he is censoring himself lately. He's bleeping himself. He's like, oh, I hate this stuff. It pains me. It pains me to see Jacksepticeye having to actually censor himself on YouTube. Well, you know what? When you pay for this show, if YouTube demonetizes me for saying the word shit or fuck, I can give them the finger and say, eat my ass. I'm getting paid from somewhere else. They can demonetize it all they want. So what you're paying for, in addition to everything else, is a show where we can say what we want. And I think that's maybe the most valuable thing ever. So you know what? Head on over to Patreon. Patreon.com/rantinggryphon. Start your membership. It helps me, helps the channel, and it helps us to create more content like this. We'll get you going on your extra stuff. But for everyone else, that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on the 2 Cent Show, where Featherhoof is gonna strip naked and do a dance.
Hell, wait, what?